Greetings, music lovers. I'm Roger Bowie for music.net.nz, and I'm rapping with two amazing Kiwi artists, both Melbourne-based, Matt Jogal and Kerryn Fields. Two for the price of one, maybe five for the price of two. I don't know. You guys have been playing and touring together. You guys must be fantastic together. Amazing. Tell us how that happened. How did that come about?
How did that come about? We just got together to play music for some shows in Melbourne coming out of COVID. And yeah, just kind of kicked off from there. We started writing music together and playing more shows and hanging out. And next minute, we're here talking to you on tour.
There you go. Well, it's a logical sequence, isn't it?
Yeah, try and shorten it for you.
But you're both award winners. You've won, if not the same, you've won similar awards in the recognised by the Victoria music scene. Is that right?
Yeah, Matt's best country record and I'm best folk record over in Victoria.
Right.
So when we blend, we're like folk Americana, right?
Yeah, folk country, old country.
Yeah. And how does it work? You do set each, or do you do and some songs together? How does it?
We've been doing the whole thing together on stage, sort of.
Wow.
Because we started working on a album together, which we'll start to record next month. So because of that, we've written nearly the whole album. So we're road testing a bunch of those songs, and then we play on each other's songs. So we decided for the shows to just be on stage the whole time together. We thought that would be more interesting than the standard traditional one of us comes on, then the other one comes on.
Yeah.
So it's worked really well, and people have responded well to it. So yeah, it's fun.
It will be. I can't wait. Matt, let's talk to you a bit. You got a new album coming up.
Yeah.
Been a while in the pipeline, this one, but I mean, when are you artists going to get a break? I mean, it's bad enough without the weather and a global pandemic. I mean, It's tough enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. This is my first record since the pandemic was recorded, mixed during that time, as you know. And so it's finally time to get it out there into the world. So the single is coming out really soon, tomorrow, but I'm not sure when this airs. But so the single's between tonight and tomorrow. That's the title track to the record. And the record out March 10, and that's my fourth album. And this one was again self-produced, produced by myself and my co-producer Andy, who plays guitar in the Dead Leaves in my band. And this one's a really, really personal record. As you know, a lot has happened to me in the last couple of years. I've taken some losses, like a lot of people have, and I think this record is a really honest album. So it's something that I think as a songwriter, I felt comfortable to go back to stories that were more personal for me. And I think the sonic architecture mirrors that. We made a really stripped back, honest record that sounds very immediate. Hopefully people will feel that way too. That was what I was trying to get across.
I mean, it must be quite courageous to get real and personal in a record. I know, Kerryn, you've been through the same process, but is it something you feel compelled to do, or is it just the way is it just sort of circumstantial?
Well, for me personally, and I can let Kerryn answer that too, but for me, like, I did that a lot on my first album, and then because that's all you know how to do, it's all I knew how to do on the first record was to write from personal experiences. So I did that, and then I toured that one relentlessly, and I got quite burnt out by singing about really personal stories. So then as a songwriter, to be able to have longevity, I feel it's important to widen the palette and your abilities, and you can write in third person, and you can combine stories which is great. And I do that. And and the key is not to let the listener know which ones are specifically about you and which ones are maybe a little bit more third person, because that way every song to the listener sounds really intimate and sounds really honest. But as a songwriter, there'll be some songs that are really just about you. I think this album Coming has a lot of that. And I think perhaps there was a fair bit of that on Kerryn's last record as well. But you choose when to do it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you choose when to do it. You choose if the body of work is appropriate for that, personal narrative. You're not going to sing personal things if it's not a great song, or if it doesn't really fit with what you want to deliver. It's about the tour that you want to do as well, what you mentioned. You've got to tour that record too. So then you're constantly re-narrating those personal stories every night. So it really comes with that particular era of where you're at as an artist as well. When you're, I guess, kind of bold and brave enough to carry that on the road and to allow these stories to become everyone else's story as well, because that's essentially what a song is, isn't it? You're giving other people the opportunity to step into your shoes. So I don't know if you set out to make a personal record. I didn't for Water.
No.
I wasn't like, I'm going to make, we both write prolifically. I probably a couple of hundred songs each between us to make a record. So you just choose the ones that really stand out and say, this is the story I want to tell.
Cool. No, I get that. And but I do also congratulate you, because most people don't get to be so honest about themselves, and in the sense, you've chosen the lyric and the music as the means of communication. I guess in a way, you're slightly isolated because you're putting it out there for everybody.
Yeah, and we don't hide. We don't have we both have bands, but we are the front people as well. So we're the storytellers, the front people. There's no hiding. Once you go personal, you can't switch it off. I know for me, when I hit go on Water, I didn't realize until I put it out there just how personal it was, until I realized that it was out there in the world, and just went, oh my God, what have I done? There's definitely some anxiety around that for a bit.
And some songs on record that you don't have to play live, they're just for the album, and you don't necessarily want to be touring that. That's generally the last songs on my record. Song called Closing In on this new one, I probably won't play that much live, but it so happens that one of the singles, Between Tonight and Tomorrow, is quite a personal song, but it just ended up that we felt it was the strongest song on the record, so it ended up being a single, so it's out there. You can kind of write really personal songs and not hide them in your album, but if they're not singles, like you have a song, Blackfire, right? That's not a single, right? So I've got songs like that too, that, you can choose how public you are, even with your album, and whether you're pushing that song. As you know, there are songs that artists have never played live. And so, you don't have to necessarily go out there and push them on tour.
Yeah, I get it. I see it from my notes. I was going to ask you what's so special about being Between Tonight and Tomorrow, but you've probably already answered that.
Well, I think just that song in particular, I felt a lot of people could connect to that message. It's talking about, it actually is a song of hope. So it's actually talking about trying to hold on through those moments late at night, when whatever you're dealing with comes to you, when you're on your own, and sort of trying to hold on through that. And the verses touch on some of what appears like madness or irrationality when you're lost, or you've lost someone, and so I felt that was something that people could connect with and maybe find some comfort, and so I think that in itself hopefully is special. But sometimes you just write songs and they have a musical resonance with either the fans or the followers, or even just your fellow musicians and your bandmates. So that one in particular, when I took that to the band, every member of my band was like, oh, that's maybe your best song. Kerryn was the same. And I don't know, like you just write songs like that sometimes that connect with people at a certain time, and it sort of felt like it was one of those songs for me. So yeah.
I've just been checking my notes because I've just did the scatter notes because I'm reviewing it. So I'm not going to share my views because they come. You'll see them, but we're not too far apart. That's all I've got to
That's
say.
okay.
Kerryn, now what's happening to you? I mean, you've already given us a scoop about an album together. That's fantastic. But what about the other 180 songs that you write every 2 or 3 weeks?
Well, yeah, the next album's underway, but it's like I guess for me this opportunity to create with Matt has been a wonderful I guess injection post personal record. I definitely felt I couldn't go straight diving into my deep treasure chest of personal experiences to give you another record. And so this opportunity to write with Matt and to create a whole new story, our story, and the way that we, I guess, write and collaborate is really exciting. And in the meantime, my new record just simmers away in the background. And, I'm still on tour with my band and still playing my solo shows and doing all that kind of stuff. But this is a fresh injection of energy that I'm certainly really excited about. So I think for the next, few months for me anyway, it's more about what we're up to and this record we're creating together, which is, as Matt just said, we've written most of it. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and we're certainly not struggling to write great songs. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And I really love my new record as well, which is taking shape in the background. I'm not worried about what that might be or how it'll sound like. So I feel like I'm in a nice, happy place to be a full-time creative. And, here come the new songs.
That's so
I think
cool.
it's nice for Kerryn or myself to have the pressure off of having to follow up a record immediately with another album of your own. And obviously most people have to do that if they don't have another project. But then this just came along at this time, and it doesn't stop Kerryn from writing her own stuff, but it just allows her to sit back and then the right songs for her project are the right songs for her project, and the right songs for this one are the right songs for this one. And we write really collaboratively on the stuff together. I think nearly all the songs are just co-writes. So
well, we have a genuine friendship and a great connection, being Kiwis and being Kiwis based in Melbourne. And so our story was kind of already written for us. So what makes it even more special, I guess, in these kind of times, like we've just had shows cancelled and there's floods and there's things happening, as two solo artists who are head of our empires, collaborating together is a really smart and, natural way to be able to survive, like because being solo right now as a touring artist is really tough, and we're up against some really tricky battles. And so there's that extra element as well of camaraderie and friendship and companionship, and then in this really difficult industry, support is just it helps us from a mental health perspective and writing and keeping the joy jug as full as we can. So there's lots of great things about the collaboration that isn't just a new record.
No, I get that. So it's it's a combination. There's a bit of serendipity here. There's a bit of enabling the pressure to come off a little bit from your own personal brands, and it's good for your spiritual health. That's what I'm seeing, actually.
It strengthens
just looking at you,
your
listening
personal brand. It strengthens who you are because it shows this other side of you. And with none of this has been forced. Like we didn't sit down and go, let's write a record and try and capitalize on a connection. It was just like we just kind of puppets with the universe right now.
That's cool. That's cool. We're the beneficiaries, and so I see that there's been disruption to the current schedule, and I mean, how do you guys deal with that in terms of these catastrophic events? I mean, on the one hand, you don't feel they should intrude on people's pain, but on the other hand, people still need a bit of light in their lives, and it must be a tricky balance for you at times.
Yeah, it's challenging to say the
Yeah.
least. It's as a musician, you have to be adaptable, but you also need to have resilience, especially at this point after everything we've been through. And I think coming back to what Kerryn said, it really helps to have someone else just going through it. Like we both lost all those shows, that we both put effort into, and had fans and friends and whānau coming along. So that hurts. And then you're in the same position where you both have the loss, the financial loss, the post-traumatic stress of losing more shows, but also you understand that your suffering is minute compared to someone that's lost their family members or lost their home.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that guilt with feeling bad, but not so you share it the same. So it's been helpful to have someone else there to unload and be like, oh, this is rough, but also from a logistical point of view, because we both go, right, so what are we going to do? Where are we going to play? So now Kerryn's she's jumped on board the rest of what was my tour.
We had a show pop up, and
we had another show pop up.
We're super resilient full-time artists who are like, as Matt said, the point of call for your heart is like, is everybody okay? Are the people that we love, there's some really serious events unfolding, so your first response is to respond to that. But then for us as artists, I guess it just shows just how strong we truly are, because after the initial shock sort of wears off and we do all the logistical things of cancelling and doing all the admin, we kind of look at each other and kind of go, right, what can we do, and where are the cracks in the concrete here? And that's kind of been proven, especially in this round of cancellations, that we're like, wow, we're really good at being cancelled on.
Yeah, we both got used to it.
Yeah. Well, that's resilience. That's resilience. Yeah. The key part of resilience is bounce back.
And if you look at
there's still some,
sorry.
I said there are still some dates happening, so people can still see you, right? When this
so we're heading around at the moment up to Mackenzie Country in the South Island, so it'll be up to a place called Silverstream Hotel tomorrow. Then at Twizel has a festival that we're playing on the Saturday. Sunday, a show in Cromwell in the afternoon at Penny Black. So we're just getting those this weekend. Then I go to play Wellington Newtown Festival Saturday, March 5, and I have a private Hilltop house concert March 4. Kerryn flies back to play a Melbourne street festival. So we keep busy. We just lose those shows, but we keep going. And I think with the May tour, we're coming back to New Zealand in May together, and we have a whole bunch of shows there. And what's been great between the two of us is we just fill in all the dates. We'll say, I know someone here, I know a great venue here, and so it's been really easy to put together, a 15-20 date tour.
And that's exciting. You're back in late April, and I mean, are you still calling that the road to Tussock? I know at the end of it, you're going to see you at Tussock Country Music Festival, which is what I'm going to be there. I'm excited about that. Looking forward to seeing it.
Well, it'll be our single tour.
We're on the road to Tussock, but the tour is our new single. So I don't know if we should give that title away yet to you. But it's a new single. It's for New Zealand Music Month. It's to celebrate our first collaboration together, and and it's just a wonderful bonus that we're going to be wrapping up at Tussock. Sort of bringing it home there. So we're on the road to Tussock, that's for sure, but there'll be a whole lot happening between now and then, that's for sure.
Okay. I'll be patient, but
we have an alternate.
I promise we'll tell you.
The other thing that's exciting, that's exciting is that you're part of the inaugural sessions for the Tussock Country Stage, which is a new addition to the festival, which is designed for us. We're trying to expand the definition of country for the folks, and to do you've already mentioned it, to do the alt this and the alt that, and we wrap it all up into the brilliant brand the genre Americana, and so Tussock Country Stage is designed to help new artists coming through, and there's a session in the afternoon, but also to showcase our existing gems. And you two are kicking that off. So it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, especially after all the dates that we play before that. We have a ton of dates from Auckland and all around the North Island and the middle of the North Island, middle and the top of the South Island now, and Christchurch. And so we're really trying to get everywhere for that tour. That's a pretty extensive tour, that one.
And we're going to see you in Piha, not Piha, in
Auckland, Wallace
Titirangi.
Yeah, Bay of Islands.
Bay of Islands Country Music Fest. We're there as well.
Yeah. We might have one in Kirikiri. We're just organising some shows from there. So.
Tauranga, all over.
Really,
anyway, I'm sure you'll get all that stuff through to Lisa, and we'll put that out.
We'll get it to you.
Yeah,
we'll get you the new single
on the website
to review.
Yeah, you're only allowed to give it 5 stars.
Yeah, ever so kindly.
Very strict criteria for sending it out. It's a 5-star minimum review that you can speak to our people. Our people speak to your people.
We're demoing it here at the moment. We have a microphone up, the guitars are out, studio set up. So we've been going back and forth with our fiddle player, double bass, all the stuff.
We got borrowed an audio box and a mic stand, and nothing can stop us.
I was tracking Kerryn at 10:30 at night, wasn't I, last night? But she was laughing too much to get the take.
We was doing boy band moves in the background. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? Things going on.
Yeah. Hey, look, folks, this is online bribery at its best. You can see what they're trying to do to me. I'll just see how I can react to that. But hey, it's been a real privilege to get the two of you on the same rap. And I look forward to seeing you both. Hopefully I'll see you in Auckland, but I also will see you in Gore. Look out for this new album. It's out on
March 10.
March 10. And
spoil it on vinyl, CD, obviously digital, so grab it all. And the music video was filmed by this one in one shot.
Multitasking.
Yeah, that's really cool. So there we go. Videographer as well.
Director, producer, extraordinaire, please. Thank you.
Can't get rid of her, so I have to find things for her to do. That is one she does well.
Well, the only little spoiler alert I can allow myself is that it's a bloody little gem. This guy is quintessential Americana. If you don't know Matt Joe Gow, go get the album. And if you don't know Kerryn Fields, you've got to go and see what she's got out there online, and you've got to go and see them on their tour, and look for all the details of that on music.net. So look out for Matt Joe Gow, look out for Kerryn Fields from Te Kuiti, and you guys are in Dunedin, right?
We are at the moment.
We are,
and it's sunny in Dunedin.
Well, it was
need to go to your side.
It was raining just before, and 11 degrees. What did you say? It was balmy.
Yeah,
at 11 degrees.
A balmy 11 degrees. Yeah, I had to lend her my hoodies, and she was swanning about in summer clothes.
10 minutes before you turned on, I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. I'm gonna wrap that up. It's a wrap with Roger. Thank you, Matt Joe Gow and Kerryn Fields. All the best. We'll be seeing you soon.
See ya.
See you, Raj.